I'm going to share with you a really quick pizza idea that we do at home that's kind of not your average pizza. Today I got a little fancy and I tried homemade pizza crust, but normally I'll use these little sandwich rounds or a pita bread. And the great thing about that is if you're gluten intolerant, you can get something with different grains. A little bit different. We're not going to have a tomato base. Instead, what I do is I take my little sprayer with olive oil and I just spray it. I got this kind of idea out of they recommend using a pesto, which is a great idea. The only problem is it's kind of expensive. The best site would be to have your own herbs to make your own pesto, but I haven't gotten that far with my herb garden. So what I do is I just take some olive oil, some dry spices. You want to use a lot because dry doesn't have the same taste as your fresh spices. So olive oil, fresh spices, and some garlic, and basically I'm making my own pesto myself. I'm kind of sprinkle that around, rub it in, whatever. It's a bit dry to me, so I would go ahead and I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil and just rub in those spices. Also keeps your crust from getting soggy. Kidlet's on my back, so let's keep him quiet. So anyway, it's kind of like your own little pesto here, or you could make it in the blender with your fresh herbs and spices and stuff like that. You can put some Parmesan in there if you want. We don't have any, so I'm just going to do this. The next thing I do is some spinach. And the spinach is going to wilt when it cooks. It's going to wilt down, so lots of spinach. Get some good fiber in there. I buy my spinach at the big box store, organic spinach, and so it's pretty cheap, so we use a lot of it. Then, what I like to do is take some red onion, mild red onion, and I don't really chop it that fine. You can add whatever you want. My husband likes turkey bacon sometimes. Pecans are really good, or some other kind of nut that you have. And then I add chunks of tomato. In a pinch, when I haven't had tomatoes, I've used some diced in the can. Just load them up because it's going to be great. Nice and chunky. And on the sandwich rounds or the pita, you can pick them up really easy. It's going to be interesting cutting these, but we'll give it a whirl. And then I like to add feta, is something that we keep around because I think it's really yummy. So instead of your usual mozzarella, just a little bit of feta. I think the recipe I had said to add more oil, but I usually don't. You could add more oil. I usually do a little bit of salt, just to kind of, with the spinach, make it a little bit different, a little bit of pepper. Pop that in your oven, and within 15-20 minutes you have an excellent pizza. It tastes amazing. It's just something a little bit different than your average ordinary pizza. Like I said, get yourself a pita bread or those sandwich rounds, and it's a really fast and simple. It looks like a really nice meal, and it only took me a few minutes.